Hey everybody. I'm just finishing up cutting out a couple of things for tonight's project. We are going to be working on a shutter card, also known as, that's why I was trying to do the cutting before I came on because it could get really noisy in here. But we're going to be working on a shutter card, which is also known as a magic iris card. Hey Tara, we both rocking our colors out tonight, huh? Okay. All right.
All right, we're good.
Little feedback from my other camera, so I'm just going to kick it off real quick. How are you feeling tonight, Tara?
Still kind of chilly, but I'm alive.
Oh my gosh. So before we get into everything, let's just go ahead and introduce ourselves real quick, just in case there's people who were not here during our last couple of craft alongs. So hello everybody, I'm Genoa. I am owner of Rika and More Personalized Gifts. Also, I am the, I guess, owner of the YouTube channel Crafty Mess. So here I is in all my crafty mess form. And I'm also creator for Black Girls Crafting Network and a Crafty Mess, which are Facebook groups. So if you guys haven't already joined, go ahead and search us up. So Crafty Mess on Facebook and Black Girls Crafting Network on Facebook. And then we have the lovely Terry.
Are we on the main page? Because I see our photos, but I don't see us on the main screen.
Yeah, let's see. No, because I only have me up there. There we go. I don't know if that did anything.
I don't know either, because I don't see us like how we usually are on the screen together. I see us one on top of another.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this.
There you go.
Are you on your phone or are you on your laptop?
I'm on my laptop. I was actually looking for my phone so I can see us, but no, I'm on my laptop.
Okay, cool.
Wait, this way.
All right, so that was just a quick little introduction. Thank you for everybody else that's coming in and joining. When members of our admin team from a Crafty Mess get in here, from Black Rose Crafting Network get in here, if you guys can go ahead and drop down in the comments and let us know that you're here. I am going to
I really
grab a rubber band and tie my hair up. Thank you so much, sister, for helping with the chat, because you know I'm old and I don't know anything about that. So everybody, my sister, my only sibling, same mama, same daddy, is in the comments right now helping with the chat. Bam. And the snatchback has been created. Hi, Melody. Hi, Noonie. Okay, so again, really quick, tonight we're going to be working on the Magic Iris card, also known as a shutter card. And if you were in the Black Girls Crafting Network, then you got notifications with the link for the template. Tara, can you drop the link for the template in the chat?
Yep, give me
a second. If you have it handy.
If
not, I'm sure I can go on my other browser and pull it up real quick.
No, I have it. I just have to get it. You can show them
Okay,
the
so I
sample.
have just a quick little, like, she has more finished products. I have a quick little sample of what we're going to be working on. So you can see this when you pull this lever up and down, then you get this shutter that opens and closes. So again, that's what we're going to be working on, is creating the mechanism, and it's fairly simple to do when we're using Tara's template. She's going to drop the link for that into the comments for anybody who wants to pick it up. But this is what we're going to be doing tonight, is putting together this mechanism, and they can be sized up or down and used for a number of projects. So anywhere from cards and party favors. She gave some great ideas earlier for like Valentine's candy and Halloween candy favors that you can use this mechanism with. On up to, I think you said you made it as big as to put it on a cake topper, right?
Yep. Let me just.
Yeah. So
I didn't get all my post. Hey. I don't know if it posted it. Wait a minute.
I'll go grab it real quick. And we're trying to get Tara monetized on YouTube, guys. So she has the views, she has the knowledge, she has the expertise. We just need to get her subscribers there so we can get her monetized on her YouTube channel. She does
Yes.
all the step-by-step instructions on all of this stuff that we're working on these Friday night crafts. So you want to definitely check her out. It's Precious Delights Canada here on YouTube, and I believe it's the same also for Instagram and Facebook.
Yes. For all the stuff.
And then I'm happy to have her here because up until just a couple of hours ago, the weather they're having up there in Canada, her internet was down. So I'm so happy that she was able to join us tonight. Otherwise, I would be here by myself. And y'all know I like to talk. So I know y'all don't want to be here with me all night. So hopefully she'll keep me on track and keep me from just running my mouth endlessly.
Don't worry. Okay, here it is.
Okay.
Copy link. For some reason, I was just in the comments. I don't even know if it posted.
Okay, I just went ahead and dropped it in there. So you can copy that link and pick up the template, and the template can be downloaded and then uploaded into Cricut Design Space. So you don't have to worry about cutting anything by hand, and I'm sure anywhere that you can use a SVG file. Does it come in a PDF file if people want to hand cut? No? Yeah, I would think not, because there's some pretty intricate little pieces and parts to this. And so I wouldn't trust my hand at trying to cut that out, even with a template. So you want to go ahead and upload it. Either, does it work in Silhouette?
Yes, it does. Because if you did try to cut it, if you cut it by hand, it's not going to fit precisely. And this is one of the types of things that has to be precise. Because if you're off by a little bit, or there's a section sticking out too much, it won't fit the way it's supposed to fit. So.
Did I do it, sister?
What?
Was that, she told me to pin the link, like I know what that means. I told her I'm old.
You can okay, because you know, like on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, if there's a link, you can actually pin it so it doesn't move, it doesn't scroll through.
Yeah, so I believe adding the star is what did that in StreamYard, hopefully. So again, guys, this is what we're going to be working on, the Magic Iris Shutter card. And I guess we can go ahead and begin. So typically what we do is have you explain how to put the template together. Do you want to do it that way still, or do you want to try something different tonight?
Well, I'll show you guys how to actually put the pieces together. I won't go through the whole Design Space one, because I do have a video on how to upload it to Design Space. I also do have a video of how to assemble it, but we can assemble it live together. But for those of you who don't know how to do it in Design Space, there is a link in my bio, not in my bio. There's a link on my channel, or actually a video on my channel of how to upload to Design Space, and it's followed by the video of how to assemble it. But I cut out all my pieces finally once the internet started. So I'll show you all the pieces, and then we can put it together. Did you cut out another one?
I did. I still have it on my mat.
Okay.
But it is cut out.
So basically, when you have the template, you're going to have several pieces. You're going to have, hopefully I have them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you're going to have 6 pieces like this. And these are what we call the blades of your iris. Well, it's called a shutter card because it mimics the shutter on a camera. So you have 6 blades like this. So I have all 6 of them here. And each blade, I don't know if you can see it, but each blade will have slices such as this. We call those are the locking mechanisms. So you're not going to be gluing down the blades to any of the bases. The only time you're basically going to glue is when you have to glue down these little tabs, and then when you're closing them off with the circles. But other than that, the blades themselves are not stuck onto anything using any adhesive, or else they won't move. So you have 6 blades like this. You have this mechanism that they slide into. This is the actual locking mechanisms that those little tabs will fit through. And then I'll show you what the circles are for. Now, when you cut it out, you do have 2 circles, and one is slightly bigger than the other, if you can see that. One circle is just slightly bigger, not by much, because the bigger one will be what goes on top to hide all the messiness. So I'll just show you quickly how to do this, because like I said, there is a video on my channel of how to assemble this. So you have this part here, and you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs. You have your blades. Now it's going to be awkward for me to. So your blade, the curve of your blades, this little hot dog part, has to be facing the center. Oh, I'm doing it backwards. Has to be facing inwards. So you see how I put it? Your blades do not go this way. They're not going to be like on the outside part. Your blade has to fit in so that when it closes, it goes towards the inside. These little tabs here slide into each slot. So I'm not really doing anything special. I'll show you from this way too. They're just going to fit in like that. And then you just lay it flat. And you'll do that with all 6 blades until they're overlapping. So I did one. Now please forgive me, it's kind of awkward doing it on the camera. So I'm going to put them all, each in their own little slot. And again, you want to make sure that the little U part is facing inside. So I have one like that. And it's in, this is the back part. You can see how it's sticking through. And you're just going to do that with all of them. Now it's a lot easier to do this on a flat surface. Echo. Is that me or you? So it's easier if you lay this flat on your table, and you could just slide them all in the little slots. So see how it's going into the slots? And then it looks like this from the back. So I will do them all. And don't worry if they're not perfect right now. It's when you're going to close the little tab parts. And actually, let me show you another thing you should have done ahead of time. The little slots there, can you see it? There we go. These little tabs here, you're going to push them up. So you're going to go 1, and then 2. These little hook things, which we call the locking mechanism, is what's going to fit in your little circles. Once you assemble everything, it'll go into the little holes there. So again, we'll just do the little blades first, but I suggest that you pop all these up first. So I'm going to show you again. All of them have these little tabs. Can you see that? It's so odd when the camera's the right way. So we have the two little tabs there, and I usually pinch them. Do that for all 6 blades. So I should have showed you that first, because it's a little harder to do it when they're all attached. If you hear any noise, it's because my cat has the zoomies because of the storm, and he can't go outside. So here we go. And I just pinch them up like that. And you do that for all 6 blades, as we call them. And I think I have one more to do. Okay, so I have all of my little tabs pushed up. So once again, it's just best to lay this flat on your table. And this is the section I'm working on. Just lay it flat, and these little tabs here, the little T-zones, are going to slide in. Just put it in the hole there and then slide it, and then just lay your blade down. And you'll do that with all 6 of them. So I'll put my next one in. Oh, did it go in? Nope. There you go. And you'll just do that all the way around. So I'll show you what it looks like when they're all in. And like I said, don't worry if it's messy. You just want to get them all in there, because you can adjust once they're in there. And then they fit into their proper spots once you put the second layer on there and lock them in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm going to put on screen and try to show it from down.
Yes.
So,
so let's go here. And so it's going to look like this. Here. They're all in there. And like I said, you're going to adjust it once you put the little circle part on. But that's basically what they look like. So all the little T's are in their little slots, and all your little tabs are standing up. So I'll wait for you to get to that part, and then I'll show them to put the circle on. Or do you want me to just continue?
You can continue, but before, I just want to make sure. So before we move on, let's just kind of reiterate what we did.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the first go round, it can be easy to leave something off, or for us to forget something while we're trying to follow along at the same time.
Yes.
So just kind of recapping what we've done so far. You're uploaded this file from Etsy. We put it into Design Space. We cut it out. And these are the pieces prior to any form of assembly.
Correct.
Okay. So the first piece that we're going to be working with is this piece here. It has all these little arms. It kind of looks like a lifesaver that's missing a couple of arms on the side. So these circle rings, and then this ring that has the little circles cut out of it, we can just kind of put that to the side for now. We're working with this piece here and the sausage pieces.
Correct.
Okay, sausage pieces. We need to handle them with them facing this direction, correct? Or
yes.
are we handling them with them facing this direction?
It's hard. Okay, yeah. So yes, that's perfect the way you're doing it.
Okay.
Because you want to make sure that the side that has no tab is facing to the right. So
Okay.
the way you're
So then
holding the piece,
we want the pieces before we touch them and put any of them in to be in this direction, correct?
correct. And you want to pop those little notches
Right.
because it makes it
Okay.
easier rather than putting them on and then trying to pop them.
Okay. So again, our blades are going to be in this direction with the tab at the bottom and the two pieces that we're going to pop up towards the top, correct?
Correct. Yes.
With it curving this
Inward.
way so that,
Counterclockwise.
right. So it's going to go onto the wheel. Okay. So based on your tutorial that I watched on YouTube, make sure you go and check out her channel, Precious Delights Canada. You say for us to do first steps is to go through all these blade pieces.
Yeah.
And to pop up these little tabs that were cut out by our Cricut. And I hope that I'm getting that in the camera where people can see because my back is actually turned to my laptop.
No, it's perfectly fine. And your camera's a lot clearer than mine. I guess because you're the one that's streaming it.
Okay.
So they have a better view with yours.
So I'm just using my little weeding tool to stick into those holes and then to get those little tabs and poke them up so that they're sticking up in the air. And I'm going to do that to all of the pieces for the blade pieces.
Because the next part's the kind of finicky part, and it's always best to try to do it flat.
Right, while it's on the... So the first time that I tried assembling from the template, I was holding it up in the air and I was not successful. So
and because I'm doing it from my laptop, I can't get an aerial view.
Oh, yeah, right. So that's why there was an echo. I set up my phone in the background on my little, recording stand.
Mm-hmm.
But it was recording sound from both the phone and the computer. So I had to turn the volume down on my computer so that it didn't have that echoing sound. So this is where we are right now. Does this light help at all, or?
It's perfectly fine the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're at the point that we've popped up all of our tabs. So we're going to take this piece here.
And you're going to slide all the blades in.
Okay. And then just, guys, when you guys are following Tara's tutorial on YouTube, she suggests that you hold this piece here where the side that doesn't have the little arms, you see how this one doesn't have arms on that side, is facing on your right.
Yeah. So whether you're holding it or kicking it flat, just make sure that there's no tabs to the right side.
Okay. So you can notice here on this side of the template, there aren't any of these little arms that are sticking out. So that's the side that we want on the right-hand side. So we take our blade piece and with this tab on the bottom, we're going to stick it in this hole. And then we're just going to lay it around just like that.
Yep. You're not sticking anything. You can hold it if you want. Like I suggested, it's easier if it's flat on the table so you don't get frustrated because they will move. And it's no problem if they move because you're going to lock them in.
Right. Okay. So I'll go ahead and take your advice and put it flat on the table. And then we're just going to go in and each one of those slits, stick one of these little blade pieces in. And just go around.
Yep.
Until you have them all in there.
Yeah. Your first blade is appearing right now to be the one on top, but it's actually going to be the last one underneath when you're done.
Okay. And again, I know it may seem foreign for some of us that, do typical, cards that we are not going to be using any type of adhesive until the very end. So this is going to make more sense once we go to the next step.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
now you'll just rearrange it so that your blades are overlapping each other, like so. And again, it's awkward because when it faces me, my side without the tabs are on my right. But for you guys, it's going to appear, I guess, the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so always make sure you have to turn it around because the open side is now on your left. Flip it around. There you go. Yes. So now what you're going to do is you have this part here that has the actual tab and it has all the circles. You're going to notice that from the tab, you have one circle that's close to the tab and one circle that's far away. You see that? So where is it? Your first tab on the circle that you just put the blades on, I don't want it to fall off. So this first tab you have here at the bottom is going to be with the circle that's closest to the tab. So yeah, keep it that way with this open side. And so the one that's in your right hand now, that little circle that's closest to the tab will go onto the first little notch.
Right there, right?
Yes. So
okay, so you guys see how, again, we said that on the right-hand side, we're working with no tabs on the right-hand side. So the very first tab is down here.
Yep.
So if we take this circle piece that has these holes, using the hole that's closest to the tab. So if you look at this tab, it's right here. This hole is closer than that hole. We're going to situate that hole right over these two little flipped up pieces.
Exactly.
And then we're going to poke those pieces through the hole.
Exactly. And then once you get those two little pieces through that hole, you just flatten them and that's your lock. There's no adhesive. There's nothing on there.
Right. Okay. So I got the first one through.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take the flaps and just push them down, push them open and push them down. Kind of like old school brads when you were in school and you would use brads, how you put it through the paper and then you open it up on the back so that it keeps it together. So
or butterfly clips, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
Okay.
So you're going to go through and you're going to do that in order with all of those little tabs that we flipped, paper pieces, tabs that we flipped up.
And don't get frustrated because sometimes they'll pop out while you're going around. Just take your time, especially if it's your first ones that you're doing.
Right.
Because even myself as a veteran, it happens.
Yeah. And the first time I did it, I struggled a bit. But once you start doing it more often, you definitely get the hang of it.
Yep.
So again, I'm just going in and pushing up those pieces, maneuvering the hole so it goes over them. And then once they poke through, then I'm just opening them up.
Yep.
You do that all around.
I'm so happy you can do the aerial view because for me to try to do this in the camera,
nope.
And we're trying to keep this PG-13.
Yeah, see, my old brain works sometimes. I just thought of that like a second ago.
Okay.
It's good sometimes. Okay. And guys, thank you so much for being here. While I am looking down through the phone, I am unable to see the chat. So
I don't know if I can without there being an echo. I was able to do it last time and there was no echo.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around in a second and see if we have any questions. So I feel like I'm neglecting, but I can't see it right this second.
Okay, so Mixology is putting it step by step. So basically, once all of your little knobs are through, you just press them down. I'm so not used to it being like the real way with the camera. I'm always so used to it backwards. You just press them all down. There's no adhesive or anything that's going to go on this. Now, if you recall, I told you that there's two circles. You have one that's slightly bigger than the other. It's very slightly. Can you see the difference? Not by much. You're going to take the smaller one.
Yeah, so this one is just a little tad bit smaller than this one.
Yeah. And what you're going to do is this little circle hides all the mess. Okay, so that's what the tabs are for. You're going to bend these little tabs, but you're not going to bend them and glue them where they're flush. You do not want, can you see that? When you bend it, let me just do it. You want to leave a little bit of space. Can you see that? You're not making them flat against, because then it's not going to work. It's going to be too tight. You want to make sure that you have like a little bit of wiggle room. So when you fold down your little tabs, you have a little bit of wiggle room. Do not make it flat. Okay, do not make it flush. This is a no. I learned many times not to make it too tight, because then you have to rip it open and reglue it. You want like a little bit of space. So you do that for all of your tabs all the way around.
At this part, I really like to use a liquid glue because it does give you a little bit of wiggle room.
Yep.
With the liquid glue, you can kind of move it around. So what I do is I flip it over, and then if I see that it looks like it's too tight, then I can take my finger while the glue is still wet and just kind of push the tab a bit, so it gives it a little bit of room. So again, this is a moving and interactive card. So don't pull the tabs and fold them over. Just gently fold them over, and then make sure that there's just a little bit of room between the circle and the tab so that your mechanism can move and work.
Yep.
And I'm going to jump the gun there, but
oh yeah, you can play around with it even when it's not fully dry yet, because it also lets you know if you have to move things a little bit more.
Right.
But you see how simple that is?
So just making sure that I wasn't moving it around too much, and that it's not tight, those tabs, when you're folding them over. So now that it's all assembled and the tabs have been folded over and glued, you can see why it's important that when we were working on the side that didn't have those arms sticking out, because that is the side that the lever is going to be on, that moves up and down. And if there would have been tabs, that would have prevented you from being able to do that. Exactly. So that's why there's no, what I called arms, on the right side of the mechanism. That doesn't mean that that's how you have to put it on your card. So if you wanted to have it facing up like that, or, going from this side or whatever, it's completely up to you. Yep. It's just easier to understand when you put it in terms of, work from the right side and counterclockwise and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I tried it the other way, like doing it from a left-handed person's point of view, because I'm ambidextrous. Doesn't work. It doesn't, the mathing wasn't mathing. So you have to just have the open side to the right. But now when you're sticking onto your card, it doesn't matter which way you have the tab, because some of my cards I'll have the tab, the actual slot thing on the top or the side, upside, I'll have at the bottom. It depends on how I want my iris to open.
That is so cute. And this is my third one that I've put together, and I can just see how much better it gets and how much easier it gets each time I've done it. So The first one that I put together was my rough draft. I didn't do any stamping or coloring on it. I didn't put any print and cut on it or anything. So I was just trying to get a feel of making it where the pieces would go. Originally, I was going to do I wanted to do a football card. So I wanted to do a card where it would say something about Super Bowl, This was my thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I made this card base, just a flat green card, note card that I folded in half. It's regular size. So cute.
And I didn't use glue. I just used my good old trusty double-sided tape.
Yeah. Well, you're used to knowing where the tabs are going to go. So once people start doing it more and more, then, you know, maybe I could get comfortable with pulling out my double-sided tape too. I was too worried about getting it in the wrong place and it not moving.
So you did the football part. That's cool.
Yeah. So my thought process behind this was to do a football card, say something like, you know, who will win Super Bowl or what have you, and then put my shutter on the front of the card. And then when the person opens up the card, it's going to say Eagles, baby, because the Eagles are going to win. Sorry to all my Chief fans out there. You can see where I just took a Sharpie marker and wrote who will win. I was just trying to get some ideas of how I would work that. Now, I wouldn't leave this white like that. So when we're making our template in Cricut Design Space, you know how you have this circle here that is the bigger circle? I haven't put it on yet. But this circle goes on top of the mechanism to hide all the bits and pieces, moving parts inside, so people can't see like these glue tabs and stuff like that. So if I had chosen to complete this card, then in Design Space, I would have separated this bigger circle and cut it out of a different type of cardstock. Maybe one similar to this, just something to hide and, you know, to have it match the card a little bit better.
Give me a second. I'll show you some samples. I was not 100% prepared.
Sure. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just glue the larger circle to the top of the mechanism. And you could put glue all around on this part. So far we have this awesome shutter device and we've only applied glue to it twice. And that's because of the beautiful design that Tara has with her template. It works perfectly.
So I'll show you.
Nothing worse than getting a template and you just can't figure it out and it just doesn't work, you know?
So this is one card that I did not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
And so when I open it up, it says, "Just a girl who loves Christmas." And when I open it up, it's hard to do it in the camera. It says "Happy Holidays."
That is so cute.
And so I did the opposite. You know how we had the small circle inside and we had the big circle on the outside? I did the opposite way.
Yeah, and it creates a border.
Yes, I put the big circle on first and then the small circle. So it's not a law that you have to put the small circle first and then the big circle, because as you see, I did the opposite because I still wanted to have the red that mimics the actual mechanism itself, and then I put the gold on top. So I still had that outline.
That would be so cute. I didn't think about that. I'm just thinking hide everything. But hey, that's a different way of using it. Put the bigger circle on first and then the smaller circle on top, and then that automatically creates another design element to your card by having a border.
So see, I did it here too. I put the big circle in the glitter the same way I have the glitter here, but on the small circle. This time I reversed it. I put the glitter on the big circle, put that first, and then put the solid cardstock as a smaller circle on top. So you can see the difference.
So the other thing that I wanted to let you guys know, so this is not technically done. Like you can't just glue this to a card. So after you've put your circles on, no matter if you want to do bigger and then smaller or smaller than bigger, whichever way you want to do, you're going to flip your mechanism over and this is what it's going to look like at the bottom of it. And you can see that those little blade tabs you are there. Let me see.
Keep it closed.
When you open the card, they kind of stick out a little bit on the sides.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you just take them and just flip them over.
But what I do is I do that when they're closed, so I don't fold them too much, because once they're closed,
Mm-hmm.
you get the perfect fold. So when it's closed, for example, which one would be the best one to do? The top one. So when it's closed, I just flip them over. It becomes like a lock, because then it's
Right.
not going to fly out. So you just bend them all down. You can do it when it's open or when it's closed. It doesn't make a difference, as long as you only fold them where the T
only
is.
that T top, that little very top, do you fold over.
Here.
And then what you're going to do also is you're going to want to put foam dots or some kind of foam tape, something that has some kind of dimensions in between where those mechanisms move, because you want to pop this up from your card base. Otherwise, it's not going to have the room that it needs to open and close.
So you do not stick this flat on your cardstock. You'll put your dimensionals or your foam tape in between, but you have to be careful so that when you open and close, you're not interfering with the movement of the blades themselves. So you want to make sure that you're not putting it too close here or too close here. You want to put somewhere in the middle just to give it dimension. I don't know if you can see on this one, but you see in between, I have my foam tape, so my iris is not sitting on my card.
And guys, these foam pop dot adhesives, you get 2 sheets, so it's 526, and they're the really small 1/4 of an inch squares. I got these from Dollar Tree. So they work really, really good. They have a lot of dimension on them. You can see when I turn it to the side, they give a lot of dimension, and they're so small. So they fit perfectly in between those tabs. And then I'm just going to use the lever on the side to check the mechanism and make sure that they don't interfere with any of the moving parts, and they don't. They're really small. They're actually the perfect size. And then you can just see how much dimension they have.
See, this is another one where I did the opposite. I did the big in the gold glitter, and I did the small circle in the solid. And again, it says Happy Holidays. And then this one I did the other way, where the small circle's on the inside and the outer circle is the bigger one, and it's just glitter cardstock. And it's the same thing with my little L's. So when it comes to these circles, you can put the small one on afterwards. It all depends on the aesthetics that you are looking for. So like I said, you can put it on the outside, or like I said, you can cover up the yuckies from the inside with the smaller one. And everything on the front is dimensionals. I don't know if you can see that.
So I'll show you guys a card that I did earlier today after my tester mechanism here. And I chose to go a little bit different route because I hid the mechanism completely.
Yes, you can do that as well.
So this is a stamp, not a stamp set, but a die set that I actually purchased off of Amazon. And I will, if anybody wants it, I'll grab the link and I can link it in the comments. But it's from KS Craft Stores. If any of you guys have the manual die cut machines, like a Vagabond or a Big Shot or a Cuttlebug or what have you, and use like metal dies, it is a set that's actually designed to create shaker cards. And I really like it because it has all these fun elements in it. So I know that this is nothing to do with the with the Magic Iris card per se, but I figured let's try and hide it so it's not just a circle and put it in something. So I cut out the honey jar from the die cut set, and then in Cricut Design Space, changed the dimensions of the iris card to make it smaller so that it would fit within that honey pot, because I can't change the dimensions on this. This is a die. It is what it is. It's going to be as big as it is, and I can't change that. So I made the iris smaller so that it would fit behind the honey jar. And I went ahead and die cut all the little pieces with the exception of the actual little honey stick thing. It has the word honey. It has these little bees, the little drips, and everything on the jar. And then when you open it, it just says honey, love you.
You can do the same thing with a football. You can go and find a football design or whatever.
Right.
And put your winning team in the middle of the football.
Right.
There's no wrong way to really assemble. The template itself, when you purchase it, is just for the iris. You can do whatever. What I've done also is for Halloween, the same way you have the honey jar, I've made a ghost or even a pumpkin. And I put the iris behind it. So that way, and then I put like a small, the half Christmas ornament domes.
And
I fill those up with candy. So I would have the outside being a ghost or a pumpkin. There's a little dome. And when they move the iris, the candy can be taken out from the back. And again, I've resized them small also. Like I've done one that was maybe, I can't find it, but I have a magic iris that I made that big. Like that whole thing is this big. And then I made one that is a whole sheet of an 8.5 by 11. So the circle itself is about that big. And that's good for a cake topper. So you do that out of 100 or 110 pound cardstock, and you can put all your little doodads on that as long as it stays on the outside circle. And when you open it up, it can say happy birthday.
Right.
So the template I said is just for the mechanism. You can resize them bigger, smaller, and you can do whatever you want. But this is just to give your cards and your projects so that little extra oomph. You can do them on the gift boxes too, on gable boxes. These are really cute on the outside of a gable box. So, but yeah, if you can cut out a football shape and do it,
that would be cute. Football shape or a megaphone, so something having to do with sports. So I'll figure it out. I was even thinking about doing like a beer glass and then just in the middle of the beer glass. So there's several things that you can do. This pink mechanism, I cut this color out specifically because I'm going to go ahead and make a Valentine's Day card and add that to Valentine's Day card. And then this can also be a Valentine's Day card. I got the inspiration from this because this background, I actually created this background for this card. And I have a bin sitting here next to my craft station that I keep all the cards that I just make and I never do anything with them. So I know you have the same thing because you've gone through one of your stashes at one point.
You know what? Look, I'm ready. Just give me an occasion.
Right. So I had a whole bunch of these cards that I had done, and I inked up the backgrounds in different colors, and I just never put anything on them or did anything with them. And so I had this one already done in this color, and I said, hey, I have that die, that has to do with honey, and bees have to do with honey and all that. So that's what sparked the idea for that. But I am definitely going to finish this football card, and I'll make sure that I post the finished product on all of the pages, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and all that good stuff. And
Mixology says you can do a number 1 foam finger.
Boom. See? I knew your mama was good for something. I knew it.
That's very smart.
That's my sister.
I'm liking that. See, for me, I'm going to do my Valentine's Day card because you're not limited to having to open your card the standard way from left to right. I'm going to be doing mine same size card, but instead of me opening it from left to right, I'm going to open mine from top to bottom. Like that.
And this one isn't done, so it can be done that way too.
And then I'm going to
pattern is the same.
I'm going to put my magic iris to the side like that. And I'm going to have a little clip art character. It's going to look like the clip art character is going to be moving it. So I'm going to put a clip art character on the side. Where is it? On the side here where the latch is, with their hand going up. So it looks like they're actually going to be moving it. So it's going to look like that. Where is it?
So
And I'm going to
like
have
this
my thing at the bottom.
This would be another good option too, because I have the die that's the shape of a butterfly.
Yep.
It just makes the iris small enough so that it can fit behind that. Or make a background behind the butterfly. So this, you can do this on your Cricut machine in Design Space, or just use up any craft supplies that you have. Design the card for any occasion, any theme, any colors. Really, there is no limitation other than your imagination. Skies are the limits with these. These cards are not only easy to make, they're fun to make, and I could see them being a hit for people who do this as businesses as well.
Yep.
So this is going to up your skill level for your customer offerings. Something that you made by hand.
Yep.
And so for this one, what I did was I just took a little pen and just drew like a little arrow right there, just to let the person know that, hey, that pull down on that moves, just in case they don't know.
I have a little, I have a stamp for that. So I have the stamp and I have a little die that goes with the stamp. So you stamp it, then you put it through I have my big shot. And so I get my little arrow, and so that they know to pull it down and pull it back up. There you go.
Oh, you talking mess in the chat because I couldn't see you? I said you were great. Golly. What you want me to do? You want a cookie?
She said this is good for scrapbooking and pop-up books. Yep. And
so yeah, this is what we'll have to do. So one of these days, we're going to do a crafting with JD or something, because she's the only one of the children that will be willing to participate. All the other ones are old now. And they don't want to do anything. And she likes being on camera. So that's a good idea.
There you go. They're also good too for if you know people who are not so crafty, who may get frustrated actually assembling the shutter card or the iris, the mechanism. You can pre-make them. I have a bag full of these. I have a bag of different sizes, different colors. So if I say I want to make a card that has chocolate on it with strawberries, I do have brown ones already pre-made and assembled, so that I can just reach into my bag and pull them out. Also, there's an echo.
Yeah, I'm turning it off.
Also, when you're doing the blades, you see how they're all 6 of them are the same color. They don't have to be the same color. You can use different color cardstock and cut your blades in different colors. There's still an echo. So what I did is, for a gender reveal, I cut out a blue iris and a pink one, and then I kept 3 pink blades and 3 blue ones, and then I did pink, blue, pink, blue. I rotated them, and on the other one I did 3 pink and then 3 blue. And so that way they didn't, like, for the gender reveal, you put around here, is it like around this part here, is it a boy or is it a girl? And then when you open up, it tells you the color on the inside.
And I just want to add that when you are cutting out your template in Design Space, these circles here fit perfect inside the iris mechanism. So you can write on these, stamp on these, put stickers, whatever you want to do on this. Or you can, before you send it out of Cricut Design Space,
you can do your print and
print and cut. So
yeah,
I didn't make the Valentine's Day card, but I made the mechanism for a Valentine's Day card. Mm-hmm. So I did go ahead and do a print. I hate the way the camera can never figure out where I'm holding the thing to.
We're so used to it being backwards all the time.
I know. So I did do this little print cut. It says "Hello Valentine," and so when I do assemble my card, I'm gonna go ahead and just open it up. I would glue that sentiment to my card, and it pops right in and fits right inside of that hole.
Yeah, you don't glue it to the iris. You glue it to the base of the card itself. You don't glue any of that to the iris because it won't move. So like how mine is, if you can see the inside, the white section after I printed it, I print and cut in Cricut Design Space, I stuck it on the base of the card, not the iris. And then I stuck the iris on top afterwards because some people try to do that.
Right. So on this one, I did that as well. I went ahead and stuck the circle down just so I know where I want the placement of my iris when I finish this card. And so this would be where you would either do your stamping or do your print and cut. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your device, put it on your card, open it up, and it's up to you how you do it. But how I did is I just add the adhesive and I kind of just pop it down in there. It just fits right in there. And so then now it's glued to the card, and you can take that away and remove the backing from your foam dots and then set it on top, because again, the foam dots is going to give it dimension so it can still move around.
Yeah.
So like I said, the sky is the limit. You don't have to have a whole lot of other crafting supplies. You can do this straight in Design Space. Yeah, you can do pattern paper in Design Space too. So you don't have to keep an exorbitant amount of cardstock on hand like I do. Something is wrong with me. Don't be like me. Be better than me.
Yeah.
You can make your own cardstock or in your own pattern paper right in Design Space. So don't throw those circles out, and use those in Design Space before you send it to make it. Do your print and cut. Just drop something. Well, I'm excited. I think that this was another successful tutorial for me, at least. I appreciate the people who did come in and join. It's always fun to have you guys here, and hopefully we'll get to see you guys next Friday. If you weren't able to catch the live, then make sure that you do watch the playback and that you leave a comment. Let us know what you think and what you want to see next time. It doesn't have to all be greeting cards. Tara and I are both paper crafters by love and by nature, but it's not all we do. We do so much more. But if you let us be in our comfort zone the whole time, then it's going to be paper, 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 because that's just what I love to do. But we can do sublimation, we can do shirts, we can do resin. She does sculptures. There's so many things that we do. Paintings, graphic design, even if you just want to talk business, like packaging and, you know, those small things that you can
social
do
media
yourself.
stuff. How to your social media, how to work Pinterest. So there's a bunch of stuff.
Well, that's our expertise. that's your expertise. But yeah, we definitely have a whole resume full of things that we can help out with. And this is fair exchange is no robbery, right? We're on here showing you guys what we know, but the interaction and the comments and everything is what keep us going and keep us being here. So you also said my marble something or another. I don't know what that means. Pop-up books. Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay, so hopefully you guys had a good time with us, and we'll see you next Friday. Tara, did you want to say anything before we over and out them?
No, just thank you so much for joining us, and I truly appreciate you having me on here with you. I look forward to doing this again, and like she said, we don't only have to do paper crafting. We can schedule an acrylic paint pouring one.
I'm down.
It's called a crafting mess, so we might as well get messy.
Exactly. It is messy. You guys don't get the full view of what's going on here, but yeah, it's messy. It's definitely messy. And again, before we leave out of here, whether you're here live or whether you're going to watch the replay, make sure that you go and you follow Tara's YouTube channel. Precious Delights Canada, so that we can get her. She's almost there.
Yep.
Just have, a few more subbies to get until she's able to monetize her channel. And so that is the goal. So I would appreciate it if you guys would go ahead and subscribe to her channel and check out her videos. She has some great videos over there too. All right. Well, until next time, everybody, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you guys next Friday. Oh, yep. One other thing for next week. We've been catering to West Coast people here, but I know that Tara is 3 hours ahead of us. So if it is an issue for everybody to be here because of the time, we can do it earlier than 7. I don't have an issue with that. And I'm sure she wouldn't have an issue with hopping on here earlier than 10 o'clock for her. Mm-hmm. So I was just thinking, want to at least get majority of my mod team is on the West Coast. At least let them be able to get home and get settled so they can hop on with us. But if it's an issue and you guys would like to see us hop on sooner than 7 o'clock, then, let us know. Because that is up for negotiation. That was just a time that I picked at random. And so, if you can make it here, if we do it earlier, then we can always do that. So
yeah, because it worked for me. It allowed me to take a nap beforehand.
I know, I'm cooking dinner, I'm doing, getting the kids together, doing all kind of stuff. So, it works for me, but I'm willing to hear everybody else out. So, yep. Appreciate it if you guys will let us know if you'd like it to be earlier on Fridays. If not, then we'll see you guys next Friday at 7 o'clock here on A Crafty Mess YouTube channel. In the meantime, follow Tara. Go and join Black Girls Crafting Network and A Crafty Mess on Facebook. And until next time, bye.
Bye.